Hey guys, Chris with Tillman Family Farms. So we didn't do a video last week. A couple reasons: Mother's Day and rain. So rain for a homestead is one of those things that, man, it can be a downer, but it is so amazing for your property and all the things that you do out there. But most homesteaders are weekend warriors, and the rain can cause you to not get as many things done and stuff like that. So it has rained all morning today as well. So weekend after Mother's Day, it stopped raining, the sun popped out, so a light bulb started going off. I've got so much stuff that I could do. Sheep need to be moved, goats need to be moved. I want to do a walk through the garden. You know, this type of stuff doesn't stop because of the rain. So all throughout the week, we've been doing all the maintenance type stuff. You know, we did some work with the bees. We've added a couple of boxes. The guy that has been helping us, he came and pulled some resources and actually brought some different stuff out here, which was kind of interesting. I'm still learning a lot about bees. We did move the sheep one time. I moved the goats one time, and we've done a lot of maintenance type stuff in the garden. Everything has popped out of this garden, man. It's so awesome to watch this. We got a lot of tomato baskets out, and we still got more to put out. I'll probably give you guys a quick little tour of this garden just to kind of let you see how it's coming along, and we'll go from there. Tomatoes are looking pretty old good. We've been down through, and when we put the baskets out, we prune the bottoms. So this is just field fence that we have some zip ties, and we use rebar stakes. I hadn't even counted lately. Anyhow, so I'll have to go through here today and pull up some limbs and get them up a little bit higher. And then this lovely thing right through here is wildflowers. My wife put out some wildflowers. Then these are some more tomatoes that just haven't gotten up very, very high yet. These are, what is that? It's a bean. I can't remember which one it is. What in the world is that? I'll remember in a minute. So then we have cabbage, and we have pepper plants down there on the end. And then these two rows here are squash and zucchini. Then this is a row of okra. And then this is a whole nother row of wildflowers. I think those took a little better than the ones on the other side over there. This is green beans. And then this is red kidney beans. And then these are black beans. And then we have some kind of odd stuff over here, which I'm not sure how it's doing. So in this, and as I'm running my sweep through here, I'm kind of gingerly running through here because there's some beets that are planted in there. I got to get in around our cucumbers and get them kind of weeded out. There's some sunflowers down here at the end. And then this last row over here is sweet potato mounds. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sweet potato mounds. So we're excited about those. Those are just really taking off. So some of these were plants. So every other one of these was a potato seed, like a seed potato that I put in the ground. And buddy, they caught up really fast. So excited about the garden. Garden is looking really, really good. We get really excited every year about the garden because the garden is one of the things that helps us produce as much food as possible on the homestead. So it's always a really big deal for us, and we put a lot of time and effort into it, and we've been gardening for 19 years probably. And sometimes we don't worry about how pretty it is or it isn't or anything like that. You know, 2 or 3 weeks from now, we may come out here and I'm going to show you a garden slam full of weeds. But I keep up with it as much as I can. I think every year my rows get further and further spaced apart so that I can continue to run a sweep plow through there as often as possible. But yeah, this is where we produce the most food for our family throughout the year. Tomatoes for sauces and all that kind of stuff. And then all the beans, and then the squash and zucchini, and the peppers. We do stuff with all sorts of stuff. The blueberries are coming along. We should be able to start picking blueberries probably in the next week and a half. So all of our growing food production has come along really, really good. So let's check these bees out real quick. I'm gonna show you what he did, which I wasn't here when he came out and did this, which that's part of our agreement, and I really don't know what his plan is. So I'm just gonna show you what he had and what he's doing, and we'll kind of see what's going on. All of this area down here below the garden is where we started doing bees. So we can keep all this cut. It's right here next to our pond. It gets some shade, but it gets a lot of sun too. So our buddy Sean, he had 3 setups here. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that he had 3 colonies. So he had 3 of these that were stacked up. It was either 2 or 3 colonies per set. And he had 1, 2, 3. He came out a couple of weeks ago and he pulled frames for honey. And when he did that, he told me, he said, I'll be back and I'm gonna pull resources from out here. I know that he has several things going on, but when he did that, he brought these boxes back. These are more standard of what I would recognize as a bee box, and left these, and he's got bees in them. I don't know if he combined everything into these and just changed the boxes. Not sure what he did. He does bees full time now, so I'm not always able to be out here when he does come, but he is helping us. So we took this one, which is what he's calling our parent colony, and we did a split, and we split it into that one. We did hatch a queen. There is a queen in there, and so we have, that one's full of frames now, and then we have frames on this top box right here too. So and these guys are really, really strong, man. They are just kicking it in and out of there. And then these guys over here are working. They're coming in and out. So this colony over here is the one that's growing. So learning a lot of stuff from him about bees, and it's just a slow process right now. Thus far, the sheep have been really, really fun. The paddock that they're in right now, I'm gonna show you a little bit of stuff. I'm gonna set up a new paddock. We are gonna move them into another one, and then when we leave, we're going on vacation in 2 weeks. So when we do that, we're gonna encircle our barn so that they'll have some good shelter and we'll feel better about where they're at. Just for reference, I'm gonna give you guys some perspective. So this paddock right here that you can see is clearly grown back up pretty old good, is where they started here. Then this paddock, you can see how the grass is coming back really, really nice, is where they were last. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. See, they don't eat that kind of stuff. Maybe the goats will. I'm gonna shift some goats over here. And then this area over here, we had some chicken tractors that had some really, really tall grass stuff growing up in it. There was a lot of grass growing up around here. Those tree things, they've eaten all the leaves up as far as they can reach. And then there's some old sweet gum stuff over there. This whole area right here was just all weeded up, and then everything was nice and tall. And I can show you, let me just kind of give you even a little bit more of a perspective. So this over here, they've been after that pretty hard. And then right outside of it, kind of where we're about to go, looks that much difference. So I'm gonna give them this tree back for some shade. It's a pecan tree, and I'm gonna run them all down through there for a couple of weeks. And these guys just eat this stuff up pretty slow, so that's where we're going. Man, it's humid. So I have netting put up all the way back around where I was just talking about. I did get in here in the barn area some, but I left us room to drive around, and then even on the edge of this. to get from one end to the other. So I'm gonna go open this up. You can kind of see they are all waiting. They know what I'm doing. They've only moved a handful of times and they already know what I'm doing. They want to get on this side so they can get in this fresh graze. And I'm over here trying to set the camera up, and these joggers are running over here already. So I got the netting opened up right there, and I mean, they know what's going on. They're gonna move over really, really fast this time. And I would imagine from now on, they'll probably move over really, really fast. So just, we'll hang out and watch these guys, because there they go, right there. I mean, this is 30 seconds. 30 seconds, there they are. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I put the other netting back together. There's still some stuff in there that I would really like to get cleaned up, and I have found that the goats that I have will eat some of the things that the sheep won't. So I've been kind of running the sheep behind them. I'm sorry, the goats behind the sheep. So that's gonna be my plan, is to get them over into this next. There's a couple things I want to do. I'll show you real quick what I'm talking about. So this is sweet gum, and you can see what the sheep did to it. But everything up high, I mean, they're eating the new tender growth and everything. So everything up high did not get eaten. The goats will do a better job of getting on their hind legs and getting after some of that stuff, but I may come over and cut some of that stuff at the bottom so they can get to it. But sometimes too, they don't mess with it after I've done that. But I'm not sure what this is. It grows kind of funky out here. If anybody knows what that is, let me know in the comment section down below. But same thing, they all eat it, but they just can't get up that far. So, and then the goats will finish off some of this other stuff that's out here and really get this knocked down, and hopefully it'll come back better. So we got more rain coming, just lovely. I've gotten most of the things done that I needed to come out here and get in a rush to do. Jamie came home from work and she jumped in and did her chores, collected eggs, checked all that feed, fed all of the chicks that are replacement layers that are in brooders, turkeys that are in the garage. I got goats moved, I got sheep moved. The only thing that I've got to do left is water. So I gotta get the water trailer, get it filled up, fill up the sheep, fill up the goats. And only other thing I wanted to do today, I had a debacle with the cows a couple weeks ago. Moved them into a pasture down here behind the big pond, and we have barbed wire stretched out through the water on a couple T-posts to keep them on the right side of the pond, because the pond's really shallow. And that barbed wire's been out there for a while and it broke, and I had to move them back out real fast. And that pasture down there is like a chia pet. That thing is so thick, it really needs to be grazed. So I've got to get down there, rain or shine, get some more barbed wire strung up and get those cows moved over. So I'm gonna try to get that done too. We'll see. All this back here is where I need them to get in. I mean, it is just tall, 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 all the way back around. They're out in that big pasture right now. Gates over there, so we've got a couple things to do at this pond. This is what we have going on. So we got T-posts on the bank, T-posts in the water, T-posts in the water, T-posts in the water, and then it goes back to the fence over there. That bottom strand right there rusted, so they were just walking through it over there. There's some geese. And then we have a bull calf that's very athletic, and he was just climbing up and down the bank right here. So added a T-post. I'm gonna put a little stretch barbed wire across right there. Hopefully this has held them for I can't tell you how long. So we're gonna put it back together, and hopefully this will continue to do the job. So mission accomplished. A little piece of barbed wire back there, you can see it right there behind me, and then we got another piece added down there at the bottom, cleaning up the rest of our stuff. And I'm gonna go call cows and horses over, see if we can't get them to this side and give them some fresh goodness. Come on. Come on. There, cow, come on. like you don't need nothing fresh as fat as you are.
She looks pregnant again.
Well, so there's 2 of them that we think may have gotten bred by that one. You know, we had a steer that when we banded him, we missed one.
Yeah. So he had a half a shot.
Yeah, that's about right. About a half a shot.
Really?
Go on, Cal.
Come on, girls.
She looks good.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm actually thinking that maybe her and her may have ended up bred before he left. So I don't know. This little bull calf, every time I let him in here, he don't get the whole gate thing. He misses it. And he'll get hung up on that side over there for 15, 20 minutes. I have to leave gates open. The sheep learned the moving thing in just a couple weeks. He's almost a year old and he still don't know how to do it. Look at him. He's just,
You just don't know.
yeah, he's spooky, man.
You have to walk him in. Does he find it?
No, I don't mess with him at all. He's a little spunky. All right, guys, so that's about it today. We were supposed to get some more rain about now anyway, so not quite sure if it's still coming this way or not, but got a couple other things I'm gonna try to do. But for it raining all morning long, I feel pretty accomplished. We got sheep moved, goats moved, all the chores done. We got the barbed wire fixed at the pond, got the cows and horses moved over. So I bet there's a lot of people out there that don't do that much in a whole week. Anyhow, we're gonna keep on keeping at it, and if you haven't done so, please go down and like, subscribe, ring that bell so you see all the videos we put out. We will see you on the next video.